Hi, everybody. This is Dan Stolbarger. Welcome to this week's Middle East update. It is the week of April 17th. Well, what a week. I keep saying that after week after week after week with this COVID 19 or the coronavirus or whatever. But let's take a look at what's going on in the Middle East today. This is our Middle East update. And as you know, you can access the PowerPoint at either on our YouTube channel, which is my name, Dan Stolbarger, or our website, which is holygroundexplorations.com. So we usually start with our news bites. And so what's going on this week? Israel is expected to begin easing some of their restrictions aimed at containing the coronavirus. But for us here at Holy Ground Explorations, the one thing we're keeping our eyes on, of course, is international flights. And at this point in time, it looks like, Lord willing, sometime in September. So that's kind of the beginning to roll out possibilities, but every day things change, as you know. Up north in Lebanon, it's been reported that Nasrallah has suffered a heart attack, possibly a stroke. This is through the Lebanese media reports. And then researchers at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem have developed a new method of testing for the coronavirus that promises to be 15 times faster than any previous tests and at a lower price. And then finally, for our news bites, it seems like elections in Israel, we're looking at a fourth election. Parliament, the Knesset's now been given the responsibility to try to come up with a coalition. Things don't look good. And so this deadlock moves Israel closer to a fourth consecutive election in just over 1 year. When we're talking about the virus, the COVID-19, with so much confusion and hypersensitive media, it's important that we get the best perspective that we possibly can. So I've included the statistics that will give us the latest comparisons. This is worldwide deaths from January 1st through April 1st of 2020. You can see COVID at 46,000 plus, and then you can just sort of march down on your own and see the differences between seasonal flu, malaria, suicide, traffic fatalities, HIV, alcohol, smoking, cancer, hunger, and abortion. This, again, is just meant to give us some kind of perspective. And again, we have this pandemic hysteria. A former director of Israel's health ministry and a member of Knesset said on Monday that this monstrous hysteria over this pandemic is doing more damage to our country than the virus itself. And then he goes on to give some details. And as you know, because we limit this to 10 minutes, that's why I encourage you to get the PDF so you can read all the details on your own. But the bottom line is that there's more and more reports coming out that unless we get people back to work, we're going to have more deaths due to unemployment, suicide, etc., than from the virus itself. And so this is starting to surface in Israel. And of course, the question in all of this, when you have so much information, trying to determine just what is truth. A prominent Israeli mathematician, analyst, former general claims simple statistical analysis demonstrates that the spread of COVID-19 peaks after about 40 days, and it declines to almost zero after 70 days, no matter where it strikes and no matter what measures governments impose to try to thwart it. While he supports social distancing, The widespread shuttering of economies and worldwide constitutes an error in light of these statistics. In Israel's case, he noted that about 140 people normally die every day, and to have shuttered much of the economy because of a virus that is killing one or two a day is a radical error. Again, I'm just giving you more information to help us access at least a perspective on things here. And then, of course, we're going to hear about China, and more China as it relates to COVID-19. There is an authoritative and compelling evidence, a study from the University of Southampton, that if China were have to intervene, or if the interventions in China had been conducted 3 weeks earlier, transmission of this virus could have been reduced by 95%. And so on and on it goes. The question, and this is where conspiracy theory people can kind of go down those rabbit holes, but when did China know? What was their purpose? Was this at the Wuhan wet market? Was this in a lab somewhere? Did they hold back 6 days because of the trade agreement and all of that? Once again, we're not sure, but more and more information is starting to leak, and China's not looking good. Now, what about Iran? Iran and COVID-19? You know, the question, as crazy as it sounds, could this virus accomplish in a matter of months what 7 U.S. presidents, 19 CIA directors, and legions of Iranian secularists and dissidents could only dream about in Tehran? Is it possible that maybe the coronavirus may deliver or be the downfall of the Ayatollah Khomeini's 41-year reign? It seems like there's more and more uprisings going on in Iran. That's basically the lower class to the ruling class saying no more. We'll have to wait and see how all that transpires. And of course, we've got to leave it to the Palestinians in terms of messing everything up or blaming Israel. When in doubt, blame the Jews. You know how that goes. But the libel from the Palestinians is that the exploitation of the corona pandemic is by the Palestinian Authority is to incite hatred of Israel, as documented by the Palestinian Media Watch. It continues unabated. This in spite of the ongoing daily aid that Israel is giving to the Palestinian in areas. Jerusalem's now warning Ramallah that they need to cease this incitement claim, claiming that the Jewish state is polluting Palestinian towns after 73% of the cases there. They're trying to link it to the work in Israel. You know, the bottom line is that the Hamas-run health ministry in the Gaza Strip has admitted that dozens of doctors from the Strip have been trained in recent weeks by who? Other Arab countries? No, by the Israelis who are trying to assist and to help. But once again, blame the Jews. Blood libel. That's just exactly what it is. Now, you would think that as everything is shutting down, you would think that, okay, well, at least some of the fronts of Israel are probably quieter. Not the case. In the Golan, we've got Hezbollah, the IDF, last Friday accused the Syrian army of helping the Hezbollah, the Hezbollah terror group to establish permanent military presence on the Golan Heights. They've released videos showing a senior Syrian officer visiting the region. And once again, Israel, this is a red line that Israel will not allow to be crossed. There can be no Hezbollah presence on the Golan. And so we're going to hear more and more about a rocket here, a strike there, or whatever the case may be. But this is not a quiet border. And then some good news. Look at these pictures. The Kinneret is now full. Now, in order to prevent flooding, the authorities will likely use the DeTora Dam to release excess water into the Jordan River if the Kinneret continues to rise, which because of the snow melt, it will. Now, this dam was built in 1931 and it's only been opened twice. And so we're looking forward to seeing photos of the dam being opened, the Galilee pouring water out into the Jordan River, making its way down to the Dead Sea. And now just a picture of contrast. This is the 2020 priestly blessing at the Western Wall in the midst of 10 people. Last year, 2019, over 100,000 people there to receive the priestly blessing. Well, our time's up for this week. God bless. Remember, pray for the peace of Jerusalem, and let's keep one another in prayer as well. Shalom.